afternoon, good morning. It's lovely to have your company on this 1 hour craft along, where what we do is we take said item and we spend the whole show just crafting along. We'll go methodically, step by step by step. Now that does not mean that you can't comment away. We've got Rachel on the social for this show. Jan will be popping in as well. So if there is any questions that you want to be asking, fire them across. Or of course, if you need any additional help, need to recap any of the steps of the craft along when it comes of the ladies through the ages. Now, talking about ladies, we do have one lady who is away to be doing this craft along. Here we go, it's Lily. Lily's here with us. Hiya, Lily.
Hello. What an introduction that was. Yeah, we are going to be crafting with ladies through the ages. I know so many of you guys managed to pick up this fantastic collection. I absolutely love these dies, so I'm truly delighted to be able to bring this craft along to you. I'm going to be creating something a little bit different to a card. I thought we'll create almost like a handbag style gift bag, and this is what we're going to be putting together throughout this 1 hour craft along. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we'll be able to fit it in within the 1 hour time slot. Not too complicated to put together, a little bit of scoring, bit of cutting, using some items you might already have in your crafty stash, like your embossing folders and some of that gorgeous Centura pearl cardstock that I know we all love. And of course, bringing in those buttons and buckles for that clasp as well. So that's exactly what we're going to be putting together throughout this 1 hour craft along.
Awesome, that's great. Thank you so much for that one, Lily. We'll go over the list just in a moment or two. Of course, you can still shop while you are on our website, .co.uk, .com or .eu. So whether it's the items that have been on throughout today and continue to be out today on Crafters TV with Ben and Sarah, or of course, maybe you just want to have a little peruse as to what we've got within this show here. We'll go over that one just shortly. Fortunately, the dies and the stamps have already sold out. We do have the pads that you might want to stock up on. What we'll do is we'll talk about that one just shortly. But we go and have a look at the list, Lily, and see what we need to actually make the craft along.
Absolutely, so we'll run through our shopping list now so you know exactly what you need to gather, whether you're crafting live right here, right now, or whether you're going to be saving the show and crafting along at a later date. Perhaps you're already waiting for your goodies to arrive. This is exactly what you're going to need to create this particular project. So first up, all you're going to need is of course the Ladies Through the Ages. That's the stamp and die set, that main part of the collection, and then your skin and hair 6x6" card pad. You'll need that as well. You'll need your studded leather embossing folder that we launched with our textured embossing folders just a few years ago. Buttons and buckles die set. You'll need your oval nesting dies, some white cardstock, and your black and pale gold Centura pearl cardstock. And then next up, in terms of your tools and your adhesives, you're going to need your Gemini 2 die cutting machine. I say Gemini 2, it can be any machine that's A5 or over. A guillotine, your big scoreboard, scissors, pokey tool, all-purpose and tacky glues, your foam tape or your foam pads, red liner tape, low tack tape, and then your hook and loop fastening dot as well. That's everything you're going to need to gather to get started on this craft along.
Excellent. Thank you for that one, Lily. We'll go back to Lily just shortly to, of course, start that craft along. As I said before, Rachel's in. She's letting us know that Annie's in saying hello. Stephanie Theodos is in. Melanie D's in saying hello again from Florida. I'm so excited for this craft along. Charlotte Clark's in saying hello, Craig, Lily. We've also got Wendy Graham saying hi, Craig, Lily, CTV community, and all the crafters. Jen Shanks in as well, saying good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are feeling better. I am feeling much better. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love last night. But yeah, I am feeling so much better. So with this craft along, as I did say beforehand, that the stamp and the dies have already sold out. Now, for those of you that are still waiting on yours being delivered, save the craft along. You're going to be able to watch back time and time again, do exactly what Lily's doing, or you might want to change it up. However, what you might want to do, you might want to then stock up on the 3 6x6 pads that we had. These work perfectly with the die sets because you've got the pattern, you've got the block cards, and then you've got your skin tones as well. Now you've got the 3 of them here. This one being the colour card, 6x6 here. So this might be ones where you're starting to use them for some of the skin tones. It could be the dress tones, of course. It could be for the footwear. It could be for the accessories. Whatever you want it to be, you can use it for that one. You'll see within that one there, you've got those colours that are working through with the skin and the hair. You've then also got the dress to impress. So this is the one that you're maybe or potentially going to be using mostly for the dresses. But again, you might have a lady there that's got funky coloured hairstyle and hair colour that you might want to go for a little bit of purple or pink. Of course, you can absolutely do that, all uncoated. And then we've also got the imprints, this one being the Timeless Textiles. These ones here, once again, all 6x6. You've got all these beautiful backgrounds, if you can get the words out. You've got the polka dots there, so nothing stopping these for being things such as the dresses as well. You can ink them and distress them if you so wish. You've got lots and lots of different designs within that one there as well. 6x6, 180 GSM. You've got 12 designs within each, and then you've got 3 designs of each. Now, if you do want to get them individually, the 3 of them, £16, $28, or for you guys, platinum, £12.80, or $22.40. That would have been a really good platinum price, wasn't it? £12.80, just to clarify, and $22.40. If you do want to go for them individually, you can absolutely do that. Maybe you want to multi-buy on just the skin tone ones, you can absolutely do that. You're going to find them there on Shop the Day as well. For you guys stateside, of course, you've got your $50 free shipping, so if you order $50 or more, then take advantage of that. Now, we are up to date when it comes to the comment. If you've never seen me on this side of a craft along before, what I do is I tend to keep completely quiet. However, if there is any questions whatsoever that you want me to ask, I'll ask Lily, and if it's actually relating to what she's doing in that moment in time, I'll jump in and ask Lily then. But Lily, we're all good to go if you are.
Absolutely. Should we get started?
Perfect.
And do feel free to interrupt if you want.
I
Any
will
questions,
do.
guys, at home, if you need me to repeat any measurements, just let us know, and Craig will feed that through to me, and we'll get those questions answered. But we're going to start off by constructing the actual bag itself, and it's super, super simple to do all the scoring, do all the folding to create this handbag style gift bag. So we're going to start off with a piece of our 12 by 12 inch white cardstock. I know we sell this in the packs over on the website. If you've got A3 cardstock, that's going to work an absolute treat as well. But we're going to cut that down. We're going to keep the length of 12 inches, and we're just going to trim the other side to 9.5, so it's going to be 12 by 9.5. I've got my arm out here on the guillotine there,
Okay.
so finding 9.5, and then we just need to chop down just like so. Nice and easy to do that, and that's going to form our sides of our box, our gift bag here. Now I'm just going to grab another piece of cardstock, so we're just going to need one separate extra piece of card.
Okay.
If you've got any scraps at home, it's an ideal opportunity to use those scraps, and this is going to be for our base. So this main piece will form all the sides and the lid. This extra piece is what's going to form our base for us, and for our base we're going to cut this down. I tell a lie, we don't even need an extra piece. Let's pop that to one side. We're going to bring back in this little piece that we've just chopped off
even
here.
better.
Can use that, so we don't even need to bring in an extra piece of cardstock. So for this, it's going to be 4.25 inches. So let's find our 4.25, and don't forget, every single square on your base of your guillotine here represents 1/4 inch, so very easy to measure those quarters on here. And then 1.5, so it's going to be 4.25 by 1.5. Just find that, make sure it's nice and straight and level. Hold down on the guard there just to make sure it's anchored into position, and then you've got your extra piece. Make sure you don't throw this away. I know it's a little tiny piece, but that's what forms our base.
Don't want to
It's gonna be
misplace it.
perfect. Absolutely. I know it's quite easy when it's something like that. So set it to one side, don't forget it. Right, it's there. So we're going to move our guillotine out of the way for now, and we're going to bring in our rather large scoreboard here, with this being our big score. Now, if you've not got a large scoreboard, you can use a 12 by 12 scoreboard. If you've got one of those, that will work equally well. If you've only got an A4, you're just going to need to move about your cardstock and work it out in terms of starting from the next score line rather than scoring it all at once. But it's still very much doable, even if you've just got something like the Score Master. So we're going to turn it this way to start with, so we've got it landscape onto our scoreboard, just like so. I always tend to work in inches, so we've got it on the inches side of the scoreboard. And what we're going to do to start with, butt it up against the left, and then we're going to score first of all at 4.25. So there's 4.5, so find 4.25 and score down. And as I always say when it comes to scoring, don't go in really heavy-handed, just go in nice and lightly and start to score multiple times over there to build up that score line at 4.25. Then we're going to find 5.75. So go in at 5.75 and then just score down. Once again, that same technique of scoring multiple times over that same score line. So that's 5.75. And then we'll find 10. So finding 10 there at the top there, and just score down. So that's 10 inches. And then our final score line on this side is going to be 11.5. So just half an inch from that right hand side. And that's going to form our glue tab that actually sticks the whole gift bag together. So scoring down like so. So we've got our score lines there, just to repeat in case you missed it: 4.25, 5.75, 10, and 11.5. Then all we're going to do, I know you can't see that so well, we will actually fold those in just a moment, but we're going to turn it that way, so we've got it portrait. So our little score line is at the bottom there. Oh, we can see that perfectly. There you go. You can see all the score lines. And then we're just going to pop an extra few score lines into here. Once again, line it up along that left-hand side. Don't forget that left-hand side is a true measurement when it comes to doing all our scoring. I'm going to score this time at 1/2 inch, which is going to be our glue tab, where we actually adhere this main section to our base that we just cut a few moments ago. So 1/2 inch on that left-hand side. Then we're going to score at 8 inches. So find that there at the top is our 8 inches and score all the way down just like so. And then the final score line, just a little one here, is 8 1/4. So a slight gap between the 8 and the 8 1/4. And that's going to allow our lid, our sort of flap of the top of the gift bag, have a little bit of extra give, a little bit of room when it starts to fall together.
About that when I do
it does make a big difference. Yeah, you can see here, because you've got a little bit of bulk, just having just 1/4 inch makes a big difference. So always remember to pop your little extra bit in there, and it really does make a big difference. And that is all the scoring that we actually need to do. So we'll just give these a little bit, as Sarah would say, a fold and a burnish, just to make sure that we've got all those score lines a little bit more visible before we start to cut this down and actually bring in our scissors or our paper trimmer or craft knife, if you so choose, to start to cut out the bits that we need to. So you can see we've got our sides reinforced there, and we've got our bit at the top. So we'll move our scoreboard out the way. As I say, that's all of our scoring done for the project. So we'll move that big scoreboard out of the way. Now we have a few options when it comes to how you can cut this down. You can use scissors, or I thought I will bring in the paper trimmer. This is absolutely fabulous, your paper trimmer, if you are doing your partial cuts, which is exactly what we're going to be doing at the moment. So we're going to start off with this bottom section here, and we're just going to trim out little triangles where the score lines cross, just so that when we fold it together, it's going to fold a little bit more neatly. We're not going to have all the bulk of all of those tabs sort of interlocking with each other. So all of these areas, and a little one on the end there, where you can see it cross with that next score line up, we're just going to trim up at an angle and then up the other way at an angle, and that's going to give us that lovely neat fold when we start to bring these sections together when we're building our gift bag. And then at this little section here, that tiny little square on the right hand side, we'll just trim that out entirely. Once again, slightly slanted lines there, so you can have that lovely finish when we start to fold it together. And then in terms of this top section here, we actually only need that top left hand section. All this on the right hand side there, we can actually trim away, which is where we're going to bring in our paper trimmer. This line, this sort of channel down the middle there, is exactly where it's going to come, and we want to cut up to that second score line there, that bottom score line. So just lining that up, which is why it helps to reinforce those score lines, just so you can see exactly where you're cutting. It's always difficult, as we always say, under the studio lights. But as soon as you pop that down there, that's going to start to cut when we exert pressure onto that blade. So we want to cut all the way up to that first score line at the top, all the way down to the bottom. So just a little bit of pressure onto there. Don't forget you can cut both up and down. That's going to help preserve the length of your blade. And then this line that you've got down the middle of your blade here, that's exactly where the blade is. So you want to cut so that line is exactly lined up on that score line at the top there. You can see that's cut perfectly down there. And then finally, just for speed, of course, you could pop that back into your trimmer there. But we're just going to bring in our pair of scissors, just cut down that score line up to that point where we've just cut using our paper trimmer. So that's the main base of your gift bag. So you've got that main piece that we have just scored, and then you've got your extra piece there that we've done with that little base that'll go onto our gift bag. And if we just start to fold this round, just start to reinforce all those creases, you can really start to see it come to life and take shape. Super easy as well, not that many score lines on there, nothing too complicated, just from a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. If you were using smaller sizes of cardstock like your A4 or your US letter size, you could just bring a few different sheets together to give you an extra piece in terms of joining a couple of pieces together. So there's still options if you are using your A4 cardstock. So just bring those score lines in, make sure you've reinforced all of those creases, and that's going to give you your gift bag just like so, and that'll stick together. But it's a lot easier to do all of your decoration while it's still flat. So we're going to leave that to one side. I'm going to start to do a little bit of matting and layering. This is where we bring in our absolutely gorgeous Centura Pearl cardstock. So we've got some of the black and we've got some of the pale gold. I was thinking of sort of like a leather effect sort of handbag, which is what we're going for with this. So for our mats, all we need is a mat for the front, and we're going to need a mat for that top panel as well. So for the front mat with our black cardstock, we're going to go in at 4 inches. So we're just going to trim down at 4 inches, just like so. And then we're going to trim it down at 5 7/8. So just halfway between the last indentation before 6 and 6. So find the last one before 6 and 6, halfway between there is going to give you 5 7/8. And then the mat and layer that we're going to pop this onto will be some of that lovely gold cardstock. I'm going to cut that to about an 1/8 of an inch bigger. So that's going to be 4 1/8 of an inch by 6. So halfway over 4 and then by 6. And that's going to give us a nice thin border of our gold all around the edge.
So I'm going to preempt a question, Lily.
Oh, go on. Go on.
Why have you cut your cintura pedal the other way around?
Good question. Do you know what? It's one of those things we always do. It's sort of automatic pilot, isn't it? I tend to cut it that way. I just find it a lot easier to grip.
Okay.
You can cut it either or, you cut it either way. But as well, because it's a shiny cardstock, I want to try and handle that as little as I possibly can.
Idea.
So by having my hands on that other side, it means I'm not touching that lovely pearlized surface. I'm potentially getting fingerprints onto there. Good
Great
question.
idea.
Anyone would think you're a crafter, Craig.
Oh, you would have thought that, yeah.
You would have thought.
Well, I was just wondering, so I thought probably a few others would be wondering
Yeah, force a habit. I do it with a mirror card and satin card as well. Yeah, just
That's a really good
find
idea.
it a lot easier. There you go. Then for our second lot of mats and layers, we're going back to the black card, not that you'd know because it's been flipped over. And we're going to cut our black to 1 inch by 4 inch. So 1 by 4. We'll emboss that in just a moment. And then for our mat and layer, we are going to bring back in that lovely pale gold cardstock. I'm going to cut this once again to 1/8 of an inch larger. So 1 1/8, and don't forget for your eighths, that's half a square. So halfway over 1, and then that's going to be 4 1/8, just to make that a little bit larger than our black, to give us that lovely thin
Lily,
border.
Once you've done your mats and layers, would you mind for Annie going over the measurements again for the actual gift bag?
Yeah, of course,
Thank
absolutely. So all we're going to do at this point is we're going to bring in our beautiful studded leather embossing folder. Really was going for the sort of handbag vibe with this particular project. I know a lot of you got these in your crafty stashes because we brought these an amazing deal the back end of last year, I think it was.
We did, didn't we?
So I know a lot of you have already got these. So I thought I'd bring that in and give it that lovely sort of quilted texture. So just feeling the side that's going to give us the emboss. Don't forget, of course, if you accidentally deboss it, it's still going to look equally fabulous. Just going to give you a slightly different effect. Line that up, pop that in there, and we'll run that through. And while we're doing this, was it Annie, the question that came in from?
It was, yeah.
Annie, right. Measurements for your gift bag, and by the way, these are 2D, so you need your 2 cutting plates, and that's all to emboss these. So Annie, so you're going to cut your white cardstock to 12 inches by 9.5. By the way, this is not committed to memory, I have got it written down. I don't make that many of these gift bags. You're going to score on the long edge to start with. You're going to score at 4 1/4, then you're going to score at 5 3/4. Next you'll score at 10, and then you'll score at 11.5. Then you're going to flip it, and on the short edge you're going to score at 1/2 inch from the base. You're then going to score at 8 inch, and then finally 8 1/4.
Awesome.
So hopefully that helped with your measurements there. So final piece, we're just going to run that through. I'm not sure that's the right piece. Where's the piece? Oh, there it is. Right. 4 inches. I'm all over tizzy with my pieces here. So it should be.
We always have loads of measurements, don't we, when we're doing our craft alongs?
We do. So that piece goes with that piece. And we should have a piece which is, is this it? Let's bring back in our guillotine. So I'm using up all the scraps here and I'm not quite sure which pieces are which. So it should be 1 inch by, no, that's not it. We'll cut it again. So if anybody's missed these measurements, now is the perfect opportunity to catch up. So we'll pop those out of the way. As soon as I cut it, I'm sure it will turn up as always.
Always happens, yep.
Always the way. Right, let's go back and cut. Our black is going to be 4 inches by 1 inch. So let's cut down our 1 inch by 4 inch. And don't forget, this is just the bit that I have misplaced. So if you have already done this, you don't need to cut this again. So there's our black. And then our gold is going to be 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. So let's just go in 1/2 square over 1. Just line it up to get it level. And then it's going to be 1/2 square over 4, so 4 1/8. And then we'll make sure we definitely don't lose these pieces this time, so we'll pop them on there with our other pieces. We'll move that out of the way, and then it's always a case of doing is just embossing our black piece, just like we've done with our bigger matting layer. We'll emboss that, make sure it's nice and straight, and then just run that through our Gemini machine. I don't know where that piece has gone. It definitely disappeared. It was quite a small piece, to be fair. So we'll just run that through our die cutting machine, and then we'll just mat and lay them together, and then we'll give you guys at home a chance to catch up if you are a little bit behind. And you are crafting along, we'll give you a chance to...
Just before we do that, Lily, also for Annie, Rachel's asking, would you mind showing her on the gift bag where you cut, the little bits that you cut out?
Yeah, of course, yeah,
Awesome.
Absolutely. So we'll pop those to one side, we'll mat and lay that in a minute, but we'll just bring back in this piece here. So all you need to do with this, at the top here, you need to cut out that big section there. So along those three sort of sections there, just chop that out. So you've just got that section on the left-hand side there, right up to that first score line. You don't need any of the rest there. And then at the bottom here, all it is a case of doing is just removing those triangles to reduce a little bit of bulk. So not a lot of cutting for that bottom section there. The main bit is that top bit there. So you just have that one flap at the top there that's going to form the sort of flap for your handbag. Hopefully that helps in terms of where you need to cut down.
Thanks, Lily.
And let's just quickly mat and lay these two pieces together. Oh, I think my tape pen is on the blink. I think it's run out. So we shall, luckily I was prepared. I was anticipating this happening. So take off your little plastic sort of top there, and then you're just going to separate the two pieces of your tape pen. This is the piece that you need to keep. This is the piece that can go in the bin. And then we bring in our refill here, just like so. Slot them together. I always have a tendency of getting this the wrong way around, but it's easy enough just to line those two pieces up. And then you just bring in that plastic sheath that you've just removed, pop that on the top, and you should be good to go and start gluing again.
I've never heard anyone get so excited about a live replacement demo that Johnny just got excited about. Oh, live replacement demo.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting, Johnny, very exciting.
We've got Johnny and Sam in the gallery while
certainly
Jamie and Nicola are next door.
The lover of tape pen replacements, we'll be calling Johnny from now on. Yeah. I'll have to try and do that more often. I do get through about one each day at the moment with doing all the boards, so lots and lots of tape pens. Right, there we go. Got our lovely little matten layer onto the gold. And then we've got our little piece there that's going to be the flap. We'll just pop these onto our gift bag just before we take a little break. So I always find it a lot easier to actually sort of give it a little bit of a build to know exactly where things are going to go. Then if you need to pop a little mark on there so you know that you're sticking it in the right place, then by all means do so. So on this front section here, that's where our main panel is going to go. I'll just flatten this out a little bit more so that it's a bit easier to stick our panels down. You could be using your tacky glue to stick these down. With it being a coated cardstock like our Centura Pearl, it is ideal for use with something like a tacky glue, just with it being coated. Pop that onto there. I have factored in that measurement there is where that flap will actually overlap, so you don't cover any of your pattern paper. I don't like that. It's one of my funny little pet hates when you're covering a little bit of the pattern paper. So I have cut that a little bit shorter. And then we've got our panel there that will go on that front flap, just like so. So we just pop that onto the front, line that up. Don't forget you have got a few moments grace with the tape pen before you actually burnish it down, and that's going to bring together our gift bag just like so alongside our base, and we're going to come to decorating it in just a few moments time. We'll go back to Craig while we give you guys a few moments to actually catch up if you are crafting along.
Excellent, thank you for that one, Lily. No questions as such. However, Lynn Hayes is saying my Ladies Through the Ages was delivered yesterday. Ooh. So excited. We've also got another. Lynn Harvey is saying my Ladies Through the Ages haven't arrived yet, so I've saved this show to watch again when they arrive. That's what you need to do. For those that are still waiting, I know you'll be getting them very, very soon. Just save this one. You can go back and watch Lily and see what she's been doing. Cindy Thompson on YouTube is saying so good to see Lily.
Oh, thank you.
Sarah's in saying hello, Lily, Craig, CTV, community and crafty friends. Good morning from Florida. Looking forward to recreating Lily's craft along.
Oh.
And also from our Rachel, love the idea of creating the gift bag but with the base separate. A lot easier, she thinks.
So
it's going
much
to be
easier.
to do it separately.
So much easier.
Now, as well as using the gold or the black that Lily's been using, we've got some luxury cardstock, contemporary Christmas. Do you know what I'm going to say? Take out the word Christmas, because you can use it all throughout the year. It is, of course, contemporary Christmas style, hence the name, but what you've got is 3 packs here. You're going to be getting your purple, you're going to be getting your blue, and you're also going to be getting your silver. Now, we do say 10 shedless glitter, 10 mirror, and 10 satin. It's actually a little bit more, because these bits on the front, these aren't included. You get them, but they're not included within the count. So it's actually like 30 and a bit sheets that you're getting. But you are getting 30 full A4 sheets. So as I say, 10, 10 and 10. You've got your shedless glitter, you've got your mirror, and then you've got your satin. Some call it matte, potato, satin and matte. You've got them. You've then got your blue. That is more of like a silver grey. If I bring in the actual silver, you'll see there is a difference in tone. You can see with the blue one there, it's got a little bit more of a bluey grey tone within it, but you've got your shedless glitter, and you've got your mirror, and you've got your satin, and exactly the same for the silver. Great thing with the silver is you can colour it with your alcohol pens and change the look, but you'll still get like that shedless glitter come through. Now, $19.98 or $31.90, let you know, one of these, one pack is a tenner. Essentially, it's going to be like buy two, get one free. $15.98, this is when I need my glasses, $15.98 or $25.52 for all three of them. So you're getting all three of the most gorgeous, luxurious cardstock. Even the shedless glitter, if you've got things like a scan and cut, Cricut, etc., you can use that for your blades. It won't blunt your blades. So you've got those three there, luxury cardstock, contemporary Christmas, but beautiful, beautiful colours. Then we are going to be in with, what was that, sorry, Johnny? Going back, right, so there we go. We're going to crack on with the craft along with Lily, and we're going to see what the next step is.
Right, so next up we're going to do a little bit of die cutting, and I had to bring in some of my favourite dies, probably one of my favourite launches actually from last year, and I know Craig will definitely agree with me on this one, our fantastic nesting dies. And here we're going to be using the oval. Absolutely love this die. You get 14 dies in the pack here, so lots and lots of different possibilities for mats and lays, apertures, frames, whatever you choose to do with these, even card shapes as well. They're going to look absolutely fabulous. So we've taken 3 of the ovals here. Our largest one we're going to be cutting from some of our gold card, and then we're going to step down into our black, and then it'll be onto our white. So we'll bring in that largest one first, take some of that gold cardstock. Remember we had that left over from when we were doing our mats and lays, and by the way, I've still not found those 2 pieces that I cut down.
Have you still not found them?
I don't know where they've gone, Craig. Honestly, I must be going absolutely cuckoo because they've absolutely disappeared, but never mind. Largest one onto our gold. Next one down, we're actually going to go onto white, and that smallest one as well, we're going to go onto white. I will show you in just a few moments a trick that I use quite a lot, because I quite like those thin mats and layers when it comes to my my crafting, especially with black cardstock. I think the thin mats and layers give it a really nice, expensive, luxurious feel. And because the gaps between these dies is about 1/4 of an inch, there's a little tip that you can do just to make it a little bit smaller by cutting one of those by hand. So we'll just trim that off to make sure we can die cut all 3 of these at once. I was not going to tape them down, but you know what, I will do it just in case, because you know if I don't tape them down, they will move, and I'll have to cut them all over again. Always the same.
But we're excited, aren't we, Lily? I'm not saying anything that Leanne's not already said before, but me and Lily, we've got our way. We've got our wish.
Oh, I know.
Later on
Cannot
this year,
wait.
we're doing the next size up of nesting dies up to 8 inches. Oh, we've been going on and on for years now, Lily, haven't we?
Well, I've been here nearly 4 years, and I must have been talking about it pretty much since I started. I'm sure you've been talking about it for a lot longer than I have. Finally, I mean, we were delighted when we got these nesting dies. We were like, yeah, but we want bigger.
I did think, though, obviously, we knew that they were going to be a flyaway success.
We
and
knew
I
it.
did think that if they were going to be a success, we'll probably bring out the bigger ones later on in the year. So don't ask, it's not any time soon. It's going to be later on in the year, but they will be coming.
They're definitely on their way. We have been promised. Otherwise, me and Craig will be throwing our toys out the pram, quite frankly, because we are desperate for these fantastic large nesting dies. But it's enough about those. Back to the current nesting dies that we're using. So we've got our 3 die cuts here. We've got our 2 from our white, and we've got our 1 from that lovely pale gold Centura pearl. Move those dies out the way, and I do definitely recommend, when you are crafting with nesting dies like this at home, storing those on magnetic sheets does make a massive difference and makes it super easy to craft with. Now with that smallest one, we're going to bring back in that lovely studded leather embossing folder. We're going to pop that smallest one through that embossing folder. So bring back in our plates. Don't forget with your 2D embossing folders, that's 2 plates, only way I can remember it. is to have your 2 plates for your 2D, 3 plates for your 3D. So we'll run that through our die cutting machine, and then we'll stick this together using some of that black card to bring in that black matting layer to make sure everything is tying together nicely. So run that through, and then that's going to give us our oval that's been die cut and embossed as well. Gives it a really nice effect. But we'll leave that to one side and we'll bring in our next oval up, which is our white. Grab some of that black card which we had left over when we were doing our mats and layers, and we're just going to stick this down using our tape pen onto the back of there, and we'll pop that onto our cardstock like so. Give that a nice burnish to make sure it's nicely adhered onto our card. I know this is a tip Craig always recommends. Just free yourself of all that cardstock around the edge. You don't want a load of excess cardstock around the edge that you're sort of fighting with as you're cutting out. And we'll just take our scissors. Big pair of scissors like your 6-inch or even your 9-inch are going to be ideal for this. And you're just going to gently follow that curve of that die all around the outside, moving the cardstock, of course, rather than the scissors. It's going to give you a smoother effect. I always have my scissors on a little bit of an angle as well, which is going to give you that smooth cut as well. And we're just cutting a very, very thin border around the edge. We're talking literally a couple of millimetres just to bring in that black matting layer. But of course, we don't have a die which is quite small enough to cut this sort of matting layer. So we're just going to cut this by hand, go around, just easing your scissors, take your time. It's not a race whatsoever. You just want to have that nice smooth curve all around the edge and just completing that cut, and that will give us that lovely fine matting layer that we can then go in and actually stick that onto our gold oval that we've die cut. So very easy to do because you've got almost like a template there with your die cut oval, and you can see when we bring in our gold, we've got a nice thin border of black, and then we've got a lovely thin border of gold as well around the edge. So we'll just stick these two together. Some of our tape onto the reverse. Tape pen's perfect for your coated cardstock as well, with it being a super strong adhesive. And then we'll just line that up and we'll pop that into the middle, just like so, and then that gives us those lovely thin mats and layers. Then for the middle panel, I'm going to raise this up a little bit. Always like to have a bit of dimension with our foam pads and foam tape. So we'll just bring in some of our foam tape onto the back of there, and that will raise this up from those other mats and layers that we've got beneath it. So we'll just cut that down to size, pop that onto that, peel the backing off. See how easy the backing is to peel off today. You know, it can sometimes be a little bit more difficult, but that's not too bad. There we go. And we'll pop that into the centre of there. And that's kind of like our topper on which we can build our ladies through the ages. I
like that even just as it is.
It's nice, isn't it?
Nice,
I do like that, yeah.
Tone on tone, but with a bit of emboss.
Doesn't it make a big difference? Just a little bit of embossing, a little bit of foam pads onto there. And we'll stick this now onto our main gift bag. So more foam tape. I do apologise, I get through an awful lot of foam tape. I do order 10 rolls at a time, and they last me a few weeks, but it does make a big difference to have that lovely dimension onto the back of there. So a couple of pieces, and always make sure... I'm not going to
argue with you there.
I know you love a bit of foam tape as well, Craig. I remember the boards you did for the original mat and layer dies. They barely fit in the box, they were so thick. Do you remember them? We found them the other day. There was a square and a rectangle, a 5x7 and a 6x6. And they're about that thick.
I do.
Yeah, they were great boards, but yeah,
like
lot
pyramids,
of foam pads. Yeah, they were. They were like the Egyptian pyramids. Right, there is our gift bag all layered up. Next stage is to bring in the die set that we're actually focusing on in this craft along, which is our ladies through the ages. And just to save us a little bit of time, I've grabbed all the dies that we're going to be using for this particular outfit, and I've got them all ready to do a little bit of die cutting with. So we have got our gold cardstock, we've got some more of our black Centura pearl, and then we've got some of the sheets that are actually from the skin and hair pads. So move those out the way. We're going to cut our sort of mannequin, if you like, from our peachy colour tone cardstock. So we'll just take that into position. Then we've got all our component pieces, and these dies are absolutely brilliant as scrap busters. So even if you are using card that you've already got in your crafty stash and you've got little scraps of like your brown card or whatever colour it might be, these are going to be absolutely ideal for using up all those tiny little pieces that would otherwise be thrown away. So we'll go with our black cardstock for our top, and of course you can mix and match this any outfit you so choose. There must be absolutely endless combinations. I wouldn't like to count how many combinations there must be in this particular die set because there's
Thinking,
tons.
because I've not played with them yet. Well, I'm not going to play with them anytime soon until they come back in stock. But I'm just thinking, like the tops and that, you could do it in white card and then bring in things such as your stencils and that, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, that's a great
If you've got fine
idea.
detail stencils.
Yeah. Or can you imagine like a glitter pasted top? Oh
If
yeah.
you've still got your ombre glitter pad.
Yes. Ooh. I'm just thinking as well, you know what would be nice, Craig? We did one in Wild at Heart and Royal Jungle.
Yeah.
The flocked paper pad.
Oh, yes.
That would be lovely. I
Great
might have to do
idea.
that actually. I can't believe I've not thought of that already. But of course, you've got all the paper pads, and if you are thinking of restocking of those today, great opportunity to do so. But I know you guys at home, you like us, you have lots and lots of paper pads, lots of card in your crafty stash. Perfect opportunity to use up all those scraps, use up all those lovely papers that we've accumulated over the years, and just make them into outfits and just have a real fun time. Even if you're not necessarily making them into cars or into projects, just enjoy building up those outfits and just having a little bit of a play. That's what it's all about. So all those taped into position, and all these dies will fit through your Gemini mini and larger. Thought I'd stuck that plate to the mat then. Dear. Nearly brought up the whole mat with me. That wouldn't have been too
Just
good.
while you're cutting that, Lily, Anne's commented on Facebook. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce your surname, so forgive me. But what Anne is saying, and it's actually what I thought, I wonder if it's going to work, and that is, you know when you free hand cut all the way around the oval, Lily?
Yeah.
I was thinking, because I do it your way, I was thinking, I wonder if you pop the die back over and then trace around the outer edge, that will then give you a really thin line that you can cut. And what Anne's saying, and she does that, that's what she does. So that's good for me to know as well.
That's a great
that does
idea.
work.
Yeah, because you guys probably know, I love my footy cutting. I love doing my
snap.
I know we're the same in that sense. But I know not everybody is the same. So if you do find it a little bit more difficult, definitely a great tip to go for. If you do like those small mats and layers, then that's definitely the way to do it. And everyone always knows if I've been in here using the Gemini, you know if I've been in here, because there's a lot of sticky tape stuck to the side of the machine because I can't bear to waste it.
Oh yeah, we know.
It's like leaving a trail. It's like Hansel and Gretel, but
yeah. That's Lily.
It's Lily, yeah. A paper trail and sticky tape everywhere. You know where I've been. Not hiding my tracks there. Anyway, let's go in and pop out all these pieces. And some of these have like embossing detail as well. You can see there on the skirt, the two pieces of the skirt have that lovely embossed detail, so it gives it that extra little bit of detail. And just while we were die cutting, I snuck on the plate there that little button and buckles die, which is going to form like the clasp for our bag. It's quite a fancy handbag, this one, I have to say. It's a handbag I would definitely be carrying myself. So lovely little clasp that's going to go onto
Great way to use that set though of dies, the buttons and buckles.
Absolutely. I have to say I
can never remember what they're called, to be fair.
Yeah, but buttons and buckles, that's it. Got there in the end. It only took several months after the launch, but better late than never. Buttons and buckles. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? I think I should probably stop saying that just in case. Anything could come out at this time in an afternoon.
It's when a couple of years ago we brought out the chinoiserie collection.
Oh, gosh.
I had to write it phonetically and stick it underneath our monitor.
Oh, it's not easy.
Can't now.
Chinoiserie. What was the other one that we did a few years back? What was it? I can't say myself. Broderie anglaise?
Oh,
Broderie anglaise? Yeah, I still can't say it all these years later. They were lovely dies, beautiful dies.
Just couldn't say them.
Yeah, but you dreaded having one of them on your shows because you couldn't say them, for goodness sake. Yeah, two beautiful dies. They launched actually with, this is my Sado product knowledge, here we go. So one of your favourite paper pads, Craig, the luxury pastels.
That's right.
They launched with those.
They did indeed, yeah.
They did. Dies are long gone, but we still have the paper pads.
Yeah.
There you go. A little bit of trivia for you there. Not that it was any use to anybody, but there you go. Anyway, we are starting to build up our little outfit here. So tacky glue is great for this because it allows you to actually manoeuvre those pieces into position until you're happy with them. And it allows you to get into all of those little fine nooks and crannies as well. So first piece of the skirt, and you could be cutting as many of these second pieces of the skirt if you like. If you want it to be a really long skirt, then by all means you can be cutting multiples of that lower section there, making it perhaps even like a floor length skirt if you so choose.
What you could do is if you got your flower punches the other day, you could take the scissors and you could make a little like hula skirt.
Oh, I tell you, if you got what was it, Tropical Paradise, a trend collection we did with all the lovely sprays and glitters and that, you could be doing like a grass skirt.
Yeah.
Like a, what did they call them? Hula dancers?
Hula dancers.
Hula dancers, yeah. We're making it into absolutely all sorts. I absolutely love this set. There's so much scope to mix and match with all the different things you've got in your crafty stash, and that's what I love about getting new collections. It just allows you to breathe new life into some other items that maybe you've not used in a little while.
Exactly.
And start to bring it all together. Little boots here going onto the bottom, and everything fits together perfectly. Everything lines up. It doesn't matter what outfit you choose, it's all going to work perfectly onto that mannequin. And then we've got our little handbag onto there.
She's looking very nice, very stylish.
She isn't she? I have to say, quite a nice outfit, this one, and it's matching with the handbag. So we'll bring back in our handbag, and then we're just going to start to build this together. So our little mannequin is going to go into the centre there. Bit easier to actually stick your little handbag down afterwards rather than trying to attach that to the hand, because it's quite fiddly. It's a little bit easier to actually stick that down afterwards, and then you can sort of interlock it with the hand. So the next stage is just going to be to stick this onto our gift bag, and then we'll start to build the gift bag. So I think we'll give you guys at home a little chance to catch up. If you're a little bit behind, we did a bit of die cutting, a little bit of Lily scissor hands with the oval die cutting, and we started to die cut and build together our little paper doll there. So give you guys a chance to check out if you've got items in your basket, and we'll be back to finish off this craft along very soon.
Awesome, thank you for that one, Lily. A lot of you enjoying watching what Lily's doing and going to be recreating it once your die set comes along. Helen Stewart is saying, afternoon Craig, Lily, CTV team, all the crafty friends. So lovely to see the gorgeous Lily back on our screen.
Oh, thank you.
You've been missed. Fiona's also saying, I'm planning to use a fabric with a stabiliser on the back. Once I get going with this die set, that'll be really cool. It will do, indeed. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to let you catch up. For anyone that needs to check out their baskets, we will let you do that, and we will be back in a couple of minutes after this.
I love Crafters TV, not for their amazing products, but for other reasons. Firstly would be the community. Crafters TV brings everyone together from different corners of the world. It's a place where we can all share our love for Crafters Companion, ideas, and get inspiration from each other. Learning inspiration comes from the demonstrators. It doesn't matter if you're experienced or new, the demonstrators will always explain and help, so we can get the best from the Crafters Companion's amazing products. But most important reason is the personal connection with the presenters and the demonstrators. For me, they have become my friend, creating a personal connection and making you feel part of a crafting family. And for me, this is the most meaningful. I wouldn't be the crafter I am today without Crafters TV, so thank you.
Hi Crafty Peeps, Victoria here. I love Crafters TV because it shows you the best tips and tricks on how to use your crafty stash. It also connects you with people from all over the world, and nowhere else on Shopping TV you have the opportunity to live chat with other people from the other side of the world, for example, and laugh with them and be there for them when they're having a tough time. But also know that when you're having a tough time, you can switch on Crafters TV and you can go on the live chat, and you know people will be there for you as well. And when you're having a bad time and not feeling well, when you're a bit down in the dumpster and you know Crafters TV is going to be on, there's going to be some laughters and there's going to be some fun. And the banter going on between the demonstrators and the demonstrators is just really fun and really good, and sometimes the only laugh you will get when you're not feeling well. So that's personally why I love Crafters TV the most. It's the connection, the personal connection with everyone that's involved in Crafters TV and all the other crafters out there. So thank you, Sarah, from the bottom of my heart for coming up with Crafters TV and for bringing all the good fun and all the crafty tips to us. Yes, thank you. Keep up the good work, and I love you. Bye.
Oh, we've got lovely comments there, and of course coming through right now, Blue Jay on YouTube is saying, Lily, that's a beautiful box, and it's great to see you crafting away. Craig, I'm glad to see you feeling much better today. I am much, much better. Thank you so much for the love last night. Lynn is in on YouTube saying, I haven't been brave enough to make a box or a gift bag yet, but Lily's making it look so easy, I might try this one. I don't think there's any might about it. I think you should absolutely do it. Really, really simple and straightforward. It looks fab. And the great thing, of course, and many of you will be doing it, you'll be going back, save it, do it time and time and time and time again. It's always there for you to go back to all of our shows on Crafters TV. But of course, we need to finish the gift bag, don't we? So let's head across back to Lily, where we'll see what we're going to do with the last part of the craft along.
Absolutely. So just to remind you what we've done so far, so we've cut our cardstock down and then we did all of our scoring, which created our gift bag base. Don't forget, and I've not lost this piece, I did lose the other two pieces. I've had a little look around in that break. Are they there?
Nowhere.
They've gone. And I'm sure I cut them, but they've disappeared. But this piece is definitely still here, and this is a base that will stick together a little bit later onto our side. So we've got the main piece there. Then we brought in one of our beautiful textured embossing folders to do a little bit of embossing onto almost like our leather look sort of handbag that we've got with this one. Bit of matting and layering, and then we brought in those lovely oval nesting dies to bring together that centre top of that sort of focal element for our gift bag. And don't forget, I know it looks a little bit funny when it's laid flat, but when we start to build it together, that will be the front, and our little flap will go over the top of that top section there. So we also did a little bit of die cutting with our beautiful die set here, which is out of the Ladies Through the Ages, using some of our Centura Pearl and one of those card pads, which is the fantastic Skin and Hair, to use those elements there. Then all we're going to do is we're going to bring in some of our foam pads and we're going to pop these onto the reverse. I'm just going to lay this over the top of here just to make sure that I don't add foam pads over that section there. We just want foam pads in the middle section so everything's on the same height. And we'll bring in some of our foam pads. This size of foam pad, I have to say, I use an awful lot. Very useful size and shape, these little rectangles. Not too small, but small enough to get into all those lovely details. But of course, we have all those different sizes and shapes and forms of foam pads, foam tape, 3D glue gel if you prefer that as well. It's great to give you a little bit of wiggle room. And all I'm going to do, don't be afraid to cut into your foam pads as well, just to cut down the length of that one, to give us a thinner foam pad, and that's going to sit along her little ankles there perfectly. Then we'll just peel the backing off of our foam pads, and this will go onto the centre of our oval topper. So we'll just take a second peeling those off. And the depth of these is about 2 mil, so it gives you a nice little bit of lift, but it's not going to be super, super dimensional. After all, this is the third layer of foam pads we've added to this, this project already. So it'll give us plenty of lift onto that middle section. And then we'll bring back in that little handbag that we've already die cut, and we'll just interlock that with her fingers there, just to give you that nice little bit of dimension. So bringing our foam pad again. One foam pad there will fit just about perfectly down the middle. We'll peel the backing off there, and then that will just be lined up. Just slot that between her thumb and her fingers there. Have a little bit of an angle, almost like she's sort of walking down the catwalk, and her bag's sort of swinging at a little bit of an angle there.
Back and forwards.
There you go. Got our topper there. Then all it is a case of doing is actually building the gift bag itself. But before we do that, I think I'll pop our little clasp onto that top section there. So all we need here is we need a little bit of adhesive just along that top bit there. We're going to have it hanging sort of halfway on, halfway off the gift bag. So we'll take our tacky glue. Great to have this in the fine tip applicator. It's going to make it really easy to get into all those fine detailed elements of this die cut. So a little bit on the reverse, just about to about halfway on the back of there. And then we'll line that up. Lining up, you can see that extension down the left hand side and the right hand side where we've got those 2 points. Those are going to be sort of my marking. That's going to help me to line this up and get it nice and central. And then we'll just give it that a few moments to grab, because it is a coated cardstock that we're sticking onto. It always takes just a little bit extra time to make sure that glue is really nice and tacky and is grabbed onto that surface there. Now all we need to do is build the gift box. So the first thing to do is tackle this left hand long tab here, that 1/2 inch tab that we scored on that left hand side. I'll just move this pin out of the way because it wants to be stuck to the gift bag.
You don't want to lose that.
But yeah, oh Craig, yeah, the amount of times that I've had you know the ball on the end, I've had that fall out.
Oh really?
Honestly, it's a nightmare. I've had about 3 that's done it in the past few weeks. So yeah, make sure you put your pin into the end of your glue. You don't want it to dry up.
You don't want it to pick up with the nails as well.
Oh, honestly, Craig, picking up pins is no mean feat with these nails, believe you me. So tape onto that left-hand tab. I know in the instructions, and I was going to say ingredients list there, materials list. Sounds like we're doing a recipe ingredients list. I did put red liner tape onto there, but your tape pen will still be strong enough to hold this. Just line up one end there, so line up that score line that we've got on that flap with that left-hand edge of our cardstock. Make sure that's nicely lined up. Then we're going to pinch that to hold it into position while we work down the length of that tab there to make sure it's all nicely lined up. And you're not going to stick that until you've applied a little bit of pressure to your tape, so you do have a few moments to just manoeuvre this into position. And once you're happy, that should all fall flat, just like so, to give that a nice burnish. And then we'll just turn it this way up, so you can see we've got our 4 tabs on the bottom. These are all going to need to fold in, and we're going to be popping our base over the top. If you are going to be popping something really quite heavy on the inside of here, oh, my buckle's fallen out. I did say we need to give it a little bit longer to grab, obviously not long enough. But as I was saying, if you were popping something quite heavy onto the inside of these, just pop another piece of these, cut another piece of that, and then just pop that onto the inside. You'll have it nice and reinforced on both the inside and the outside. So just pop that back on there. I did pop a little bit of our tape pen just for that instant grab so it doesn't fall off again. We'll turn this back over, and we'll need tape on all 4 of those tabs. So let's just pop our tape all along the length of there. Perfect width is our tape pen for the width of these tabs. If you were using red liner tape, 6mm is the one to go for. That's going to give you that perfect width for these particular tabs. And we'll just turn that over and then just fold a couple in, fold the next one, and then that final 4th tab, we'll fold that in. Take your piece of cardstock. Now, if you are worried about manoeuvring this into position perfect first time, just pop a little bit of your tacky glue on the top of that tape, and that's going to give you a little bit of wiggle room to actually manoeuvre that into position. Make sure you give it a good burnish there, so just rubbing that over to make sure it's nicely stuck down. And then the final thing to do is we're just going to pinch our sides here. That's going to give you that lovely fold. You can add a little bit of a score line sort of halfway down there if you so choose, but just pinching it like so is still going to give you a really nice neat finish, just giving that a gentle shape. And then in order to close it, what we've got here is we've got one of our hook and loop fastening dots. These are quite old now. I'm not sure if you guys at home will still have these in your crafty stash. If not, I believe, and Craig's the one to ask about this, I believe Sticks 2 do a similar sort of hook and loop fastening dot.
Yeah.
They do, so check those out. Could use a magnet as well. Magnet would work nicely, but this just gives you that lovely security. So adhesive on both sides. So peel one side off, stick it down, peel the other side off. So make sure we've got that full backing off that side there. So I always find it a bit easier to peel that with something like your tweezers or your pokey tool. And then just close that as you would have it shut, and that will give you the perfect positioning of your sticky dot on the inside. You've got your little clasp on the outside. Super, super quick and easy. I can't believe how quickly we flew through that actually. I was worried we'd fit it in the hour, but there we go. You've seen literally start to finish. I did not have anything whatsoever pre-prepared for that. You've seen the cutting, the scoring, the die cutting, the building, and that is how you create a gift bag using just one sheet of 12x12 cardstock for the gift bag itself. You can see your fabulous ladies through the ages. Hope you guys have enjoyed that, because I have to say I'm quite pleased with how both of those came out. Make a great gift. Perhaps it's going to be for a birthday or an anniversary, anything like that at all. And don't forget, you can be changing your outfits, changing the look and feel, change the colours. But that is the basic sort of how-to of how you're going to put together one of these styles of gift bags.
That's so smart. You can actually do a bit like spot the difference there.
Yeah,
You're looking at both of them. You've pretty much done them bang on. They're brilliant.
Friday night live game, that would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
Sam's just stored that in them every
We've got the guy in who does the games,
Game
Sam.
sorted.
That is absolutely brilliant. For those that haven't quite got them yet, looking forward to receiving their set so that you can get started with the craft along. Of course, as well, don't forget when it comes to the craft along, even if you've not gone for the die set, maybe you've thought the die set aren't your thing, start to pick at our craft alongs. What I mean by that is you could do Lily's gift box and gift bag, but decorate it in other ways, so you don't always have to do that full craft along. Keep an eye on the website for when these do come back in stock, but what we do still have is the collection of the 3 6x6 paper pads. So these are going to work well for decorating maybe the clothing, the dress, might be the background, you've got the skin tones as well. Now within that one there, that is your timeless textile. These are 180 GSM, you've got 12 designs, and then you're going to be getting 3 of each one. Now on the front, it gives you an idea of the 36 in total that you're getting, but the 12 designs gives you that idea, single-sided, stripes, polka dots, you've got your florals in there as well. You've got such a great selection of different designs. Of course, you can absolutely use all your other paper pads if you want. So you've got your timeless textiles. You've then got Dress to Impress. Once again, 6x6, 250 GSM for that one there. And these are all your block cardstock. So you've got your greens, your purples, your turquoise, your lilacs, your reds, your whites, your blacks as well. 8 colours, 4 of each within that one. And then you've got your skin in here. Once again, 6x6, this is 250 GSM. 8 colours, 4 designs of each, which gives you 32 sheets. And that one, yes, it's block colours, but these ones are more together in the design for you to then do the hair and the skin tone. So you've got your browns, you've got your blondes, you've got your skin, you've got your peaches, browns, you've got your blacks, etc., etc. So if you want to get all 3, you can do that. So that's the 3 6x6 paper pads there, £16 or $28, but you've got your platinum price of £12.80 or $22.40 for all of these. So if you did get Ladies Through the Ages when it first launched, maybe you want to think and consider about getting another set. You can get a couple if you want to, multi-buy if you want, because they're great generic paper pads and of course block cardstocks for you to be using elsewhere within your crafting. So you'll find them on the website. So check those ones out, which of course complement the actual Ladies Through the Ages. Now, we are just a way to wrap up when it comes to this show. However, for you guys stateside, anyone actually across the globe, you can stay tuned and you're going to see Sarah and Ben and then me at the very end, where Sarah's going to be giving you a run through with Ben of what she's got coming up on HSN in the following week. Now, I know many outside the US do like to watch as well, because you like to see what we've got coming very, very soon. So as soon as we go live, stay tuned. Then, of course, you can see Ben and Sarah and then myself towards the end. Lily, it's been so, so nice having you. A lot of lovely comments. But this isn't the only time we're going to be seeing you.
No. You know, you might be getting sick of me by the end of next week, because I'm back all week next week. It's me and Debbie Robinson. It's going to be a barrel of laughs, believe you and me. When me and Debbie together, there's going to be a lot of giggling, a lot of inspiration, hopefully, as well. A lot of sensible behaviour, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm back all week next week. We've got lots coming up, so stay tuned, and hopefully you'll be able to join us.
Awesome, thank you so much. Yeah, Ben's got a holiday. Holiday.
Again?
Gosh, said he needs a holiday. Gosh,
who approves
none of
these
us have holidays, do we? Says him that's got another one coming up. Also, you guys stateside, you got your $58 shipping as well. So head across onto the website.com, see if there's anything that takes your fancy. Take a look at the deals as well that are there, and if your cart is $50 or more, then of course you've got your free shipping too. Check out your adhesive, check out your cardstock, check out that 6x6, and of course check out Ben and Sarah next for of course the HSN preview. Lily will see you next week, and I will see you a week on Monday.